Hello everyone, welcome to Vishesh Educational Videos. In this video, I am explaining about one of the important concept of database management system, that is three schema architecture. So along with the three schema architecture, I am also going to explain about data independence. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to like the video, and please don't forget to share the video with your friends. So let me begin the explanation of three schema architecture along with the data independence. So the goal of the three schema architecture is to separate the user application from the physical database. In simple words, when I start using the application, I am not going to see any storage details, right? As a user, I am going to see only the interface of the application. I am not going to see the storage details of that particular application. So I will take the example now. You will understand in a more better way. See here. So for example, this is a Google search engine, right? I am taking an example of a Google search engine. Here this is a user application, right? So here what I can do, so in this Google search engine I can enter the text in a text box, and I can search whatever I want in this Google application. So your three schema architecture goal is to separate the user application from the physical database. For example, in Google, you are seeing only the interface of the application. So database you are not seeing. So database means the place to store the data. Google is going to store its data in the database, right? So whatever the search item you are going to give it in a search box, right, in a text box, that will be searched in the database, right, to find out the particular match, right? Google is going to search the database where all the data is stored. Here in three schema architecture, so I am going to separate the user application from the database. Here I am seeing only the interface of the Google, so I am not seeing the storage details of the Google. I don't know where all the details are stored, right? I don't know where it is stored remotely, right? So I don't know that. I am just seeing the application interface, that's all. So what they are doing, they are hiding this details, storage details of Google from the user. Understanding, guys, why they will do that? Why means to make it simple. If you start seeing the internal architecture, if you start seeing the Google as a non-technical user, you may get confused. Obviously they want those things to be hidden from you. That's why. Understanding, right, guys? So you are seeing only the user application, not the storage details that are hidden. So the main goal of the three schema architecture is to separate the user application from the database details. Hope you are understanding, right? Suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. So this is the diagram of three schema architecture. It is very simple. So here I am using three different types of schemas: internal schema, conceptual schema, and external schema, right? So you can see there. So each schemas will be mapped to each other. I will take the each schema and I will explain the schemas in detail. So see here. So end users are the users who is going to use the application, right? So see, so for each level I have different schemas. So how many schemas here? Three schemas. So internal schema, conceptual schema, and external schema. So what is internal schema first? So in this architecture, the schemas can be divided into three types, that is internal schema, conceptual schema, and external schema. So internal schema describes the physical storage structure of the database, right? So internal schema explains or describes the complete details of the data storage and the complete details of the access paths for the database. You can see here in this diagram the internal schema. That internal schema is purely related to the way we are going to store the data in the database. Internal schema is going to tell about the details related to storage, how your data is stored. All those details will be uh, right will be there in the internal schema. Not only that, if you want to search something, you need a path, right? Access path, you need indexes, right? Those indexing informations will also be there in the internal schema. Indexing means it's like addressing. For each data what you are going to store, there will be addressing, right, for the data. So indexing details, way of storing the data, all those details will be there in the internal schema. For example, in Google, this internal details, that internal schema details, you are not seeing here. These are all hidden from you. The storage details are in the background. Getting, guys? So that is the task of the internal schema. Hope you are understanding, guys. Next, so you can see here, this is the example for the internal schema of a bank database, right? Internal schema means you can see here that how the data is stored here. You can see how the data is stored. You can see here, this is the internal schema of a branch, that is the left side diagram, and the right side diagram is the internal schema of a loan. Hope you are understanding, guys. So in here, in internal schema, what you are seeing here, you are seeing the storage details. You can see there how the details are stored. You can see branch information is stored using 3 columns: branch name, assets, branch city. In the same way, loan schema is stored using 3 columns: branch name, loan number, amount. You can see these are all the internal details. As a user, you are not going to see this storage related details. So this is these details are right in the internal schema. I can call these details as internal schema. Hope you are understanding, guys. Right? As a user, I can't see these details. Right? Next, conceptual schema. So conceptual schema, right, describes the structure of the whole database. In the simple words, conceptual schema describes the overall architecture of the database. It describes the overall architecture of the database. Here in a conceptual schema, the physical storage details, right, will be there in the internal schema, right? Those details are hidden here. In the conceptual schema, storage details are hidden here. For example, see here, this is the overall architecture of a bank database. So conceptual schema means it is going to describe the structure of the whole database. So you can see here this diagram, this conceptual schema describing the whole structure of the bank database. You can see there branch is there, loan entity is there, branch entity is there. So entity means what? It is a real world object. Branch is also a real world object. Loan is also a real world object. Account is also a real world object. Banker information, credit card information. You can see there each and every details. Overall architecture is there in this conceptual schema. Hope you are understanding, guys. In the internal schema, storage details will be there, right? You can ask a question: what is the use of this type of schemas? Means as a developer, it will be easy for me to design the database. That's why we are dividing the schemas like this: storage schema, conceptual schema, and external schema. Hope you are understanding, guys. So conceptual schema gives the overall architecture like this. So this is the overall architecture of the banking database. So far you should understand this much. Don't worry about these notations. This is actually a architecture of the database, that is ER diagram of the database. I will explain the ER diagram in detail in upcoming videos, right? So far you should understand that internal schema have the storage details information, but the conceptual schema contains, right, the overall architecture information. Here in conceptual schema, the storage details are not included. You can see here the storage details are included in the internal schema, but in conceptual schema only the overall architecture, overall structure of the database
will be there. You can see that and you can design your database by using this overall architecture. Hope you are understanding. You can see internal schema contains different information, conceptual schema contains different information. Next, the last schema is what? External view level or external schema. These schemas, the schemas, for example, see uh, here you are seeing the interface of the application, right? So this interface can be the external view, right? Database is internal, you can't see that. And conceptual, it's purely overall architecture. Again, as a user I can't see that. And as a user, external means the screen you are going to see, that external view. This example, Google example, see, you can see the interface, right? That can be the example of a external view. So see, I will take the example, you will understand. So external view or external schema describes the part of the database that a particular user group is interested in and hides the rest of the database from the user group. For example, in Google there will be enormous amount of information. As a user, I don't need all the information that is present in the Google database. I am interested only in the information that I needed it. For example, see here our Google database contains, assume that our Google database contains the branch name details of the banking database. So here we have 6 branch names here, but I am not interested in all the data that is present in the database. I am only interested in the Clearwater Bay. Hope you are understanding, guys. I am interested only in the branch name Clearwater Bay, right? So here what it does, external view, what it does. So as a user I am going to search the Clearwater Bay. Only the user is going to see the matching result that is matched to the database, right? So only user is going to see that details, that is Clearwater Bay details. This is external schema. As a user I am not interested in all the details that is present in the database. One user may be interested in one information, other user may be interested in other information. Suppose if I am interested in Clearwater Bay, some user may be interested in downtown, other user may be interested in Signal Hill, right? So as a only the information that is needed for that particular user will be displayed in their screens. For me, Clearwater Bay displayed. For others, their external views, their matched result will be displayed. For different users, different screens will be displayed. But all the information will be in the database. Not all the information will be displayed. Only the interested information, only the user interested information will be displayed. For example, here Clearwater Bay is displayed. This is external schema, right? Internal schema means the storage details will be there. Conceptual schema means the overall architecture will be there. External schema means what the user sees, right? Different users sees different information. So the external views of different user may be different. External views of one user may be different from other users, like that. So this is external schema, right, guys? Hope you are understanding. If you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. And one more important thing, mapping has to be done from one schema to other schema. For example, see, so we'll take the example of this diagram here. You can see there conceptual schema and internal schema should be mapped. External schema and conceptual schema should be mapped. You can ask a question, why? What is this mapping? Mapping means, so whatever the information that is present in the internal schema will be in one format. The internal schema format should be changed to other format when it enters the conceptual schema. For example, in internal schema format, you can see there the information will be in the form of tables, but in the external schema, in the conceptual schema, the information will be in the form of diagrams. Hope you are understanding. So that is mapping. The process of converting the information from one form to other form is nothing but a mapping. Here
In internal schema, details are in the table format, but it should be changed to diagram format when it enters the conceptual schema. In the same way, the details in the conceptual schema should be changed to the format that is supported in the external view. Hope you are understanding, guys. Right? That is mapping. Information of one format should be changed to the other format. Right? Formatting should be changed. That is mapping, because different schemas supports different types of information. Hope you are understanding, guys. That is nothing but a mapping. Next, here in 3 schema architecture, one more important concept is data independence, right? So data independence means you can change the, right, you have the capacity to change the schema at one level without having to change the schema at the next higher level. In simple words, suppose if you want to change the internal schema, you can change the internal schema without affecting the conceptual schema. Suppose if you want to change the conceptual schema, you can change the conceptual schema without affecting the external schema. So here schemas are independent to each other. Schemas are independent to each other. You can change one schema without affecting the other schema. Here in data independence there are 2 types. So first one is logical data independence and the second one is a physical data independence. So logical data independence means capacity to change the conceptual schema without having to change the external schema. See here, if you want to change the conceptual schema, the overall architecture, you can change the overall architecture without having to change the program. See, if you change the diagram here, your program won't be affected. Getting, guys? Your interface won't be affected. You can change that, right? Your diagram can be easily changed without affecting the, right, external view, without affecting the external view. That is nothing but a logical data independence. Logical data independence means the conceptual schema, right, can be changed without having to change the external schema. The diagrams, the overall architecture can be changed without affecting this program, source code of your interface. It is possible, no problems, right? Why we have to, what is the need to change the conceptual schema? Why we need to change the conceptual schema means we have some reasons. For example, if you want to expand the database, if you want to change some conditions, if you want to reduce the size of the database, you can do that, right? You can directly change the things in the diagram. Program need not to be changed here. You can do that. Program need not to be changed. You can just change the diagram. After the diagram is changed, you can take the diagram and you can make the changes, right, to that without having to change the application programs. You can do that, right? Next, physical data independence. So here, capacity to change the internal schema without having to change the conceptual schema. That means if you want to change any details of internal storage, you can change that without having to change the conceptual schema. For example, here, if you want to delete the Clearwater Bay, you can delete it. Even if you delete the Clearwater Bay, this diagram, this conceptual schema won't be affected. You can directly delete the Clearwater Bay, or you can delete all these branch names, but this branch name details won't be affected in this diagram. This diagram won't be affected even if you delete that details. So this is nothing but physical data independence. You can change the internal details without affecting the conceptual data, right? So you can do that without any problem, right, guys? So these are the 2 data independence: logical data independence, physical data independence. So suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section, right? Thank you for watching the video.